Hey, good morning, everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to one and all present over here. So, this is Pooja Joshi here with easy English explanation. Don't forget to subscribe at first, and even don't forget to like and share my videos and give your comments. So, here we start with the 9th standard Moments Supplementary Reader book. Lesson number 6, Weathering the Storm in Ersama, Part 3. This is the third video related to the lesson. So, for the first and second part and the videos you can already see, and this is the third video I am starting. So, let me give you a little bit hint of the first and second part. Then, as usual, we'll continue with the reading and explanation word to word, line to line, thoroughly understanding the lesson. In the first part and the second part, we saw that there was a boy of naming Prashant, and there was a storm suddenly in Ersama, here his village. So he was not present over there. He was there at his friend's place. So for 2 days he was there with his friend and his family. He somehow managed to survive that severe disaster catastrophe. Then he took refuge on the terrace. Somehow he managed himself, survived over there. But after 2 days, he was not able to stay away from his family. He was he was worried about his family, to know about the whereabouts of his family, whether his family had survived this catastrophe or not. That we will find in this part, the third part of the lesson. So let's continue. In this picture, as you can see, that he is ready with the stick and he is moving towards his village, and this was an expedition, a thrill, a dare which he was going to do in the swollen waters of flood. So he was out on his 18-kilometer journey, which is called expedition here. Among the first people he saw in the crowd was his maternal grandmother. Weak with hunger, she rushed to him, her hands outstretched, her eyes brimming. It was a miracle. They had long given him up for dead. Let's see the meaning of brimming. That means it is full up to something, means the glass is brimming with water. That is, the glass is full with water. Miracle you know already. There's some kind of magic. Okay, let's see the meaning here of brimming. See, brim means to be full of something. किसी वस्तु से भरा हुआ होना, लबालब होना. Now, coming back here, he saw his maternal grandmother, that is his nani, mother's mother, and she was very, very weak due to hunger. Already she must be having a good age, and she was weak with hunger. She rushed when she saw him, Prashant. Her eyes were brimming out of tears, maybe of happiness to see Prashant, because they had all taken him up for dead. They had thought that Prashant must be already dead, and as he was there with his friend's family. So she was full, maybe her eyes were full of tears. She was very happy, but maybe these tears were of happiness, or the hunger, pain and sorrow caused due to that catastrophe. Quickly word spread, and his extended family gathered around him and hugged him tight in relief. Prashant anxiously scanned the motley, the battered group, his brother and sister, his uncles and aunts. They all seemed to be there. Quickly word spread. The word of Prashant's coming back, that word, it spread very, very quickly. People shared that news. And his extended family. See the meaning of extended family. Motley. I will show you the meaning. Extended family means a family with a close relationship among the members. It not necessary only the parents and children, but his grandparents, uncles, aunts, their children, everybody. Extended family means न सिर्फ माता पिता, उनके बच्चे, बल्कि दादा दादी, नाना नानी, चाचा चाची. And the meaning of motley. Motley means consisting of different types, but they don't appear to go together. It's a sort of state of chaos and confusion. So all were very relieved. They hugged him in tight relief. They were very happy to see Prashant, his extended family. But it was battered group, means the motley was the group of people. They were a group, but they were of different kinds. Some may be very sorrowful. They were all hungry. They were crying. One is going in this direction. They don't know what to do. Other person must be going in the other direction. It was a scattered group having no uniformity. They were in chaos, disorder. His brother and sister, uncle and aunt all were there. So he was happy that his family had survived this catastrophe. By the next morning, as he took in the desperate situation in the shelter, he decided to get a grip over himself. He sensed a deadly grief settling upon the 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. 86 lives were lost in the village. All the 96 houses had been washed away. It was their fourth day at the shelter. So far, they had survived on green coconuts, but there were too few to go around such a tumult of people. Let's see word meanings. See here, except for this tumult, I'll give you the other meanings by myself. See the tumult. Exact meaning of tumult is a loud noise, especially produced by an excited crowd, a state of confusion, change. Now, by the next morning, he thought that he will first of all have a grip over himself. For himself, he will have control, and he will put himself in a calm state of mind, and then he will decide, and then he will do something for his people, his villagers. He got a grip over himself. First of all, he had control over his emotions and feelings. He had also passed such a disaster. Then he sensed a deadly grief was spreading over people. People were in a state of shock. Their mind was not working properly. They were hungry. They were crying. They had lost their lives. They had agony and pain. There were a 2,500 strong crowd in the shelter. 86 lives were lost in the village. 86 people were dead, and 96 houses had been washed away. All the houses were washed away in that disaster. It was the fourth day at the shelter, and till that time they had survived on the green coconuts, but there were coconuts number were less now, and people, the huge crowd, tumult of people was there. Now it was not enough for them, so they had to do something to survive. Prashant, all of 19 years, now we know the exact age, decided to step in as leader of his village if no one else did. He organized a group of youth and elders to jointly pressurize the merchant once again to part with his rice. This time the delegation succeeded and returned triumphantly, wading through the receding waters with food for the entire shelter. No one cared that the rice was already rotting. Branches from fallen trees were gathered to light a reluctant and slow fire. on which to cook the rice. For the first time in 4 days, the survivors at the cyclone shelter were able to fill their bellies. His next task was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit, and floating carcasses, and to tend to the wounds and fractures of the many who had been injured. Prashant was of 19 years of age. He thought that now somebody has to come up. Somebody has to become the leader to arrange and get back to normal life again, to help the people to overcome this situation. He made a group of youths and elders, and he decided that he will pressurize merchant to give some rice so that he can fill the bellies of the people. Huge crowd. And this time the delegation. See here the meaning. Delegation means the group of people specially for some purpose. That is called delegation. And they returned triumphantly. When they came, they were winners. Means they were able to pressurize the merchant to give some rice. So see the meaning of delegation, wedding. Okay. Delegation means a person chosen or elected by a group to speak, vote for them, especially at the meetings. Means our chosen leaders for a specific purpose. Wade we have already seen in the other parts also. To walk through some water or liquid with some effort. Then this delegation means these people sent by the whole crowd, all the villagers. The delegation, it came back succeeded. It succeeded and it came back triumphantly. Means they were winners. They were able to ask the merchant to part away with his rice. But no one cared that we are eating the rotten rice. Rice was also already wet in the waters, but still branches from fallen trees were gathered and a reluctant slow fire was put. See here, reluctant. Reluctant means hesitant. Why the fire is hesitant? Because the wood was wet due to water. So very slow fire came up, and on that fire food was cooked. And after 4 days, first time they were able to fill their bellies. They saw any cereal or grain for the first time except for coconuts. Now his next work was to organize a team of youth volunteers to clean the shelter of filth, urine, vomit and floating carcasses. Now the next task was to clean all the dirt related to urine of human beings as well as insect animals, vomiting, the floating dead bodies. Floating carcasses means floating dead bodies of animals. So they had to clean everything. Filth means all the dirt. Here you can see the meaning. Reluctant, not wanting to do something because you are not sure. Okay. Now coming back here. Filth. Filth means the dirt. Now he had also the second work to tend to the wounds. Many were injured in that. They had fractures, but there were nobody to cure them, or no medicines to take care of them, no people or nurses to take care of them. So he thought that he had to make a team and make and care and tend to. Tend to means to care the wounds of people, the fractures of people who had been injured. With this, I end the third part here. No worries, we are going to meet very soon in the next session of fourth part, that is fourth video of lesson number 6, Weathering the Storm in Ersama. Bye bye till then.